Hello, Virgo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Virgo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Virgo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. The High Priestess. I love this card. It's intuition. I feel like you're a very intuitive person. You're probably a bit of a psychic medium, or at the very least, you can read auras. I think you can see energy. I think that you have a direct connection, a direct kind of antenna to spirit. Okay? And I feel like your intuition has been speaking louder to you right now. Maybe you've been seeing certain colors or certain repeating sort of numbers or words lately. I feel like there's a message trying to get through to you right now from spirit, from your guides, from source, from your intuition, or your higher being, whatever you want to call it. Okay? Let's put this card into a little bit of context. Let's see if we can get a little bit of clarity about what that message is. Well, I feel like maybe the message is coming in, but there's a lot of doubt at the same time. Okay? This here, exactly, these two cards are why most psychic mediums or tarot readers and these sorts of people can't usually read for themselves, right? Because we get the intuitive hit. At the same time, we get a thought that is kind of coming from our own negative self-talk, our own complexes, our own psychology, our own defense mechanisms, our own insecurities. And so like we get the message from spirit, but then immediately we say, no, that can't be right. This isn't going to work, you know? And so we have this sort of clash. And when you're trying to, at least for me, when I'm trying to read the cards for myself, it's very often I get the intuitive message, but then my conscious mind kicks in and kind of says, no, I don't think that's for me. That can't be right. And so we tend to go down that rabbit hole, right? So this is conscious mind being in conflict with intuition. Yeah. Down here we have a Prince of Cups. We have a Five of Swords. We have a Princess of Pentacles and the Chariot card. The Chariot card. So there is movement coming in the future here. That is, to me, feels like a devotion. We have a Five of Pentacles and the Magician. We have an Eight of Pentacles and a Queen of Pentacles. Very nice. The Queen of Pentacles is one of your Virgo power cards because it is a mutable earth energy. Okay, and so it represents the Virgo energy in action. I like that very much for you. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right over here with Big Red Ant right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. Okay? If at any point during this program you feel like you know what that card is, put your prediction in the comments. Let's take a look around the room. We do see some good major arcana. We see the High Priestess, the Chariot, and the Magician. And the Magician is, I think, really important here. And this is in the position of your environment, the position of your relationships, and sort of the projection of yourself out into the environment. Okay? And I think the Magician is going to be a complex mixture of both your intuitive guidance, your own mental sort of cogitation and contemplation. It's going to be a mixture of your sort of driving desire, right? And then also a mixture of what you feel you are capable of doing, what you feel is within the realm of your existence, right? And the Magician is sort of the master of all four of the elements, right? The Magician is the one that can work with fire, earth, air, and water. to build the best life, to bring you to the very best version of yourself. This is you in the future. This is your future self, sitting pretty, in a good life, right? Surrounded with resources, surrounded with confirmations of your capabilities, right? Surrounded by the life you want. Okay. So this is you in the best version of yourself, in the best life, the best self and the best life together. Okay. And the magician is how we're going to do that. Of course, we need the fire, water, air, and earth. But right now we have a little bit of water, we have air, and we have a lot of earth. Okay. So the only thing we're really missing is the fire. And I think to get that fire, we have to sort of reconcile this a little bit. Okay. And this Eight of Swords is too much rumination. It's a figure eight, right? It's looping back in on itself. That we just keep thinking about the same things over and over again, and it's sort of, before we know it, we're all tangled up in these wires and we can't move. This is overthinking, overanalyzing. We're thinking of too many of the details. It's kind of, we're thinking of like too many ways that something can go wrong. Even though your intuition is telling you to get in your chariot and go forward with this idea. Okay? The idea which you feel is within you, you have the potential to become that person. So it's something that very much is available to you in your life. It's kind of like, you want to be a bodybuilder. Well, yeah, we all have that in us, It may take more or less work for certain people, but we can all do that, right? You may want financial success. Well, that's something that you have inside of you that you can bring forth. You are capable of that. You want to be an artist. You want to be a musician. You want to be a business owner. You want to be a spiritual force in the world. You want to be a healer. You want to be a stamp collector, whatever, I don't know. You have that in you, and you do. Okay? And you have, of course, this deep desire for something. Now, maybe this is kind of what the intuition is trying to tell you. That, look, you want something more than anything else in the world. But then our conscious mind kicks in and says, no, well, I can't follow that deepest. This is your authentic self speaking to you. And it's kind of like this feeling you have that you're trying to sort of keep down, trying to say, no, get out of here, get away. This is that deep desire that you have, that you want to do this thing. Either start a family, start a business, start the stamp collection. You want to climb the corporate ladder. You want to climb the mountain. You want to, I don't know, whatever your path is. But I feel like this is something within you. This is a very deep soul level desire. This is an authentic aspiration for you. Okay? And I think the High Priestess is telling you, do it. Take this water energy, hop in your chariot, Cancer, water energy, right? Hop in that chariot and do it. Do the thing. But the conscious mind is kind of, they're ruminating, right? It's Jupiter in Gemini. It's an abundance of thoughts. More thoughts beget more thoughts, beget more thoughts. And pretty soon we're thinking about something so much that we almost forgot that we haven't actually started doing it yet. All right? So the Eight of Swords really is the obstacle right now. And what we need is we need the fire. We need some effort here, some magician energy, maybe an Ace of Wands, maybe an Ace of Swords, even for the mystery card, to say, I'm done overthinking something. I'm ready to follow my gut. And I'm ready to do it. Ready to trust my intuition. Okay? Now, there's something going on with paperwork or legal stuff in your life right now. I don't think that's necessarily related to this, but I wonder if it has something to do with the Five of Swords here. Because sometimes the Five of Swords seems like there was some sort of an obstacle, some sort of I don't know if it was like a decision that was unfair or some kind of a setback, or like the paperwork got lost, or there was some sort of confusion. Okay. And when I'm saying legal stuff, I don't think like criminal law. I feel like it's some kind of like family stuff, or it's even something more bureaucratic or even more administrative that I'm feeling. Okay, but the Five of Swords back here is kind of like what we keep ruminating on this. This is a defeat. This was saying that you had a judgment against you. That you thought you were in the right, you thought you were correct, and you advocated for yourself, but the powers that be, whether it's, the boss or the parents or, some institution out in the world said, no, you can't do it. Or no, you have to give that back. Or, you know what I mean? It could be that we lost money in the stock market. It could be that we were in some sort of arbitration and it didn't go our way. Something, right? Some sort of decision did not go your way with that Five of Swords. And I think that is kind of led to this Eight of Swords pushing down this Prince of Cups and saying, it doesn't matter how much we want this, I can't do it. Okay, it's not. I don't want to try again. I don't want to try doing something else. Maybe we started a business and it failed the first time. Maybe we tried to do some sort of sport or some sort of competition and it didn't work out for us. That we weren't selected. We didn't win the contest, or we didn't get selected for something. Okay, I don't know exactly what that was, but I kind of feel like you went after something, but someone else got it. You didn't get the promotion, something along those lines. And that sort of has contributed to then this Eight of Swords saying, I don't want to try ever again. I just don't want to do it. Because we keep, every time our intuition says, do it, you're meant to do this, you can do this, and sometimes we just have to go through a couple of defeats before we get the big win. Your spirit is telling you to keep going and keep doing it. Then the mind is saying, no, there's too many variables, too many things could go wrong. I've already sort of had to deal with this sort of loss or defeat. Right? That's literally the key word for this card is defeat. That we lost, right? That I don't want to deal with that again. Chances are I'm going to get that again, happen once again. All these things that our mind will tell us to keep us from doing the thing, to keep us from getting into the chariot and going forward. Now that chariot is, of course, we're suited up. We've suited up. We're in our armor. We're in our chariot. There's gas in there. We've got the sacred thing with us. We've got that. That's the Ace of Cups that the charioteer is holding. Okay, we're holding that Ace of Cups, which is, of course, a reference to the prince, because the prince is also holding the Ace of Cups, right? Because it's like this, I care about this enough that, yeah, maybe I lost last time or last week. It's like maybe it's a sporting event. Maybe you're bowling. Maybe you got your butt kicked bowling last week. Well, you're going to go back again this week and you're going to dominate, right? But we can't just quit. We can't just say, I don't want to do it anymore. I lost. It must mean it's not meant for me, right? No, because you love this. You feel it. If you deny yourself doing this thing, you're never going to forget this feeling right now, right? So your spirit, this intuition, this high priestess is trying to lead you by the hand and take you to your best life. That's what the high priestess does. It's card number 2. What is card number 3? The Empress. Right behind the High Priestess is the Empress. The Empress is trying to take you by the hand, drag you, if she needs to your best version of yourself and your best life. Okay? The best you and the best world for you. But sometimes we just say, no, it's, you know what? I don't think it's in there. And so this is the Princess. Maybe the mystery card will be the Empress, because the Princess of Pentacles is the energy that can transform into the Empress. Okay? So the High Priestess is showing you what to do in order to bring out your very best potential. And the best version of you, right, is the substitute for the Empress energy right now. Okay? And you have to believe that it's in you. And that there is something in you that is trying to get out, that this is not just a cold and sterile winter, barren landscape, the dead of winter. There's no life here, right? We have to believe that life is in there. We have to believe that whatever this aspiration is that you feel, I don't even want to call it a desire. It is a yearning. It's an aspiration. Whatever that is that's in there, is going to bring all this life and abundance back to the world for you. You have to believe that you're capable of this. Okay? And that's what this card is all about. And I think the intuition is trying to get you in the chariot and get you going. Now, Path of the Serpent, what do we have? 5 of Pentacles. There's worry. There's worry about, like, you know, the physical sort of steps that we have to take. This is a card of saying it's going to be uncomfortable to go do this. It's going to be hard to try again. It means I'm going to have to get my bowling ball. I'm going to have to get dressed. I'm going to have to go do it. I'm going to have to put in the work. And what if I get the 5 of Swords again? So these two cards together is like we're worried about losing. And we keep ruminating on this. What if I fail? What if I fail? What if I fail? What if it doesn't work? What if I don't progress? What if it's not in me? What if I look silly? What if, right? This is us worrying about being defeated, right? And I think in this case, kind of losing the game again. Maybe it's like, I don't want to go after another promotion because what if I get passed up again? What if they give it to somebody else again? You know, what if I file the paperwork again and they say no again? Like, I don't want that, you know? And that makes total sense, right? But I think that this has a financial component as well for you. I think that we sort of know the life we're going to have if we don't do this. And we also know the potential life we might have if we at least try again. Okay? And so I feel like that's what you're doing. And I feel like the Magician here, this is you getting all of your elements together and getting ready to go do this thing again. I feel like you have the strategy. You have, you've learned from this air energy, because remember, the Magician can use all of the elements. Definitely using the water, the desire, or I should say the yearning, the aspiration. So that's in there. Okay. Using the air energy too, because in a way, this air energy is saying you're very, very familiar with what happened before because you've been thinking about it for, I don't know, months now, right? Every day ruminating on it. So you're an expert at this loss, right? So what do is we choose to find the wisdom there. Okay, so this is becoming wisdom. That goes behind the Magician. Of course, you feel the intuition. That's kind of like, that's at the very bottom, right? But you also have to believe that you have the potential to do it. And even with this, with the 5 of Pentacles, you kind of know the physical requirements. You're already familiar with hard work, and like you're already familiar with how to put in a lot of effort and get nothing out of it, right? So you know how to work hard. You know, like, that you can endure doing the thing, right? So we're putting the material resources, the physical resources in there too. Of course, the intuition is showing everything up. The Magician gets in the chariot, and guess what we have then? Progress. Patience, slow and steady. The 8 of Pentacles over here is slow and steady progress. It's patience, it's prudence. Sometimes this is repetition. Sometimes this is like, we do things 1,000 times, and it's on the 1,001st time that the breakthrough happens, that all the progress happens. So we might be repeating ourselves over and over and over and over again. And, you know, every day we might have this idea like, I don't want to try again. I don't want to go and do it again tomorrow. But what if tomorrow is the moment that the entire energy breaks forth and the Princess of Pentacles becomes the Empress? What if the very next repetition is the one that breaks through to the other side? Okay? So we have to be okay, and that's kind of, this is the obstacle for you, is the repetition of something, and kind of like, how many times do I have to do it before I get to my good life? Right? How many times do I have to go through trying and failing, trying and failing, trying and failing, or going for the promotion and getting shot down, or applying for the, I don't know, I feel like there's something with paperwork. Yeah, I kind of feel like I don't know, it's like, how many times do I have to take the test and fail it before I take the test and, you know, I pass, I graduate, and life goes on, you know? So we have to be ready for that repetition, and I think that this is very, very important card, is patience. It's the ability to do something over and over and over again. Not like Groundhog's Day. I mean, but if you've never seen the movie, you wouldn't get the analogy. But with Groundhog's Day, it's like the same day is happening over and over and over again. But there's a message, there's wisdom in that movie. I love Bill Murray, by the way. But there's a lesson there. Because even though the day seems like it's the same gosh darn day over and over and over again, there is still growth and learning and change and development. And the development happens inside of us where we can't see it. The eye can't see itself, right? We can't chew our own teeth necessarily, right? So it's like this is happening inside of us and we may not be able to perceive it. So it feels like what I'm looking at is I do the same darn thing over and over and over again 1,000 times for nothing. No, not for nothing. Because there's a lot of change, a lot of growth that's happening inside. And that'll reach a critical mass until breakthrough. Breakthrough, right? And so the Groundhog's Day, if you haven't watched the movie, go watch it. It's the repetition of the same exact day. The people do the same thing. The conversations are exactly the same. Everything in the external world is exactly how it was the day before, except the main character is changing and growing and evolving day to day to day to day. Okay, and that's what this card is about. It's through that repetition. Okay, and come on, a Queen of Pentacles. That is your best life. This is you looking back at the long and winding road, and being very satisfied that you did the hard work and that you went through all the twists and turns, all the ups and downs of this path. It's a very twisty road back there. I don't know if you can see the road behind her, right? It's a very twisty road. And this is the satisfaction that I'm only here in this success because of everything that I went through in the past. All the times that I hated it, but I did it anyway, created the success that you're going to experience. The outcome, the likely outcome of this is that you're going to be very successful, very wealthy, very satisfied that you made the right decisions today. Let's look at the mystery card. I very much want this to be the Empress or some fire energy. I think would be very appropriate right now. Okay, put some of these cards back where they were, just because it makes the table look pretty. Okay, so Empress or Ace. If it's an ace, I'd prefer the Ace of Wands. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. The Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is okay, though, because this is kind of saying that your desire to do this is overriding everything else. That you're being driven by this emotion, by this yearning, by this desire, by this aspiration, that it's kind of like, the High Priestess is sort of forcing you to realize how you feel. And that feeling is pushing you to action. The Page of Cups is all about our behavior being sort of influenced by how we feel. Feeling to behavior. It's kind of like when I would talk about fire to earth. It's like impulse to behavior. This is a feeling to a behavior. That you feel something so strongly, you're compelled to act. Okay? And I think that this is what you need to realize right now, because we don't have any fire. We don't have any kind of natural motivation right now. We don't have any enthusiasm, right? We don't have any gusto. We don't have this zip and zeal and zest. So we have to just say, I feel this so strongly, it's compelling me to take an action. It's compelling me to keep going and keep trying. Okay? And I think doing this, eventually we'll get the fire energy. But this at least is good. Okay? This card is also about the fish in the percolator. Seeing the signs and symbols and synchronicities and letting them speak to you. Trusting in those signs and not using our intellectual left brain to say, no, that can't be what Spirit's really saying to me. Am I dumb? Like, it's kind of, the intuition is telling you, you're going to be great, you're going to be great. And then we say, no, there's no way. It's going to just be crash and burn again, Spirit is telling you, enough of that. Trust in the signs and symbols and synchronicities. Trust in the messages from Spirit. And don't let your mind sort of sabotage that or drown out the message from Spirit. Okay. Very, very good energy. We're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, there is a link up top. There's a link down below. We're going to do some oracle cards. We're going to do an Jing reading. Okay. New readings for Virgo on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and I'll see you again very soon.